Okay guys, hello again. We are at AiBC conference and we make an interview with Alexander Filatov, who is the CEO of Freeton. That's the platinum sponsor of this wonderful event, as well as platinum sponsors of other conferences that organizes Sigma, that are organized by Sigma company. So a few words about the conference itself, how you enjoy that. If you can compare that with other conferences in Malta, in Singapore, where you want to take part, or you take part already. So a few words about the conference and your plans on other conferences in the future.
Sure. Well, we quite enjoyed it. I think people are, after 16 months of COVID, people are really looking forward to some offline events. And we're actually strategic partners with Sigma, who is organizing this conference. Where we're having the stand here, same with Malta, and I think it's a good turnaround. It's a good turnout. I haven't seen such for sure quite in a while. So it's been great so far.
And as we discussed right now about Freeton and Telegram, that we use, all of us use Telegram. You're the heir of Telegram, so you're the heritage of this big, wonderful company. So could you please tell us a little bit about the history, how you were created, your ideas, either you took them from Durov or you created something on your own. I've heard about Ton operational system that you developed. So was it your own production and what you got from Telegram?
It's a great question. So the project started indeed with the Telegram team working on the Telegram Open Network project, Ton. And my company, where I'm a co-founder and CEO, called Ton Labs, we were simultaneously working on developing Ton operating system. So if you think of Ton as a decentralized microprocessor, so Ton OS sits on top of that, bridging to developers and final users with the idea to facilitate development on the blockchain and also user interface, user experience with the final users. And by developing Ton OS, we developed also second implementation of the node. Telegram did it on C++, we did it on Rust, and then a whole bunch of tools on top of that, including middleware and front end. So when Telegram unfortunately lost to the US regulator and had to withdraw from the project, our company knew the project quite well and the code base quite well, and it's open source code. So we took the Telegram code, we complemented it with Ton OS, including second implementation, and together with 22 other initial members, launched it as an independent community-driven project called Freeton. And we added free because it symbolizes free software, kind of open source and free software, and also more open and more free community, because our project is not owned by anybody, is not controlled by anybody. Ton Labs we eventually will own only 5% of tokens, just like Satoshi, in Bitcoin. So and the rest is owned by wide community. Already now it's more than 120,000 people community, 3,000 developers in the space, etc. So and it keeps growing. So it's very decentralized. We call ourselves maybe the largest social governance experiment ever.
Cool. What would you advise, what could you maybe give some clue, some idea for our investors who watch our channel, for subscribers? How can they benefit from investing either in tokens, in some future ideas that you prepare? Some tips for the investors?
Well, I guess my typical tips are just classical for the investment scene, is to be kind of long-term oriented, not so much speculatively driven, and diversification I think is a good idea. I think there are quite a few great protocols out there, around layer ones, and we're a layer one protocol. In DeFi space, I think there are some good developments in DeFi space. So my ideas would be long-term diversification. If we talk about our project, we're not, pushing the investment angle so much yet, simply because we are focused on adoption, on real adoption. And we think that the value of the ecosystem will be consequences of that adoption. Like the more users you have, the more developers you have in the ecosystem, more applications, real-life decentralized applications you have, obviously the richer and more expensive, more valuable your ecosystem will become. So we haven't really been pushing our token. By the way, we are probably the only large protocol, I'm quite sure is the only one, since Bitcoin, who did not do any sort of token sale at the beginning. No ICO, no IO, no anything. We put the 5 billion tokens, stone crystal tokens of the network, into 3 multi-sig givers, multi-signature control givers. One is for validators, one is for developers, which is a big priority for our ecosystem, and 85% of tokens for partnerships. Real life use cases, media, charity, you name it. It can be anything as long as it contributes to the ecosystem. So in return, those folks get our tokens, and this way they become stakeholders in the ecosystem. So that's how we, treat development of our ecosystem.
Okay, just we talked about Durov, about his heritage. One question: what are the relations? Are there any relations of you and Durov? Does he consider you competitors or contributors? Maybe he assists you somehow, or he doesn't want to know anything about you. Do you have any relations with him right now?
Yeah, well, we had technical collaboration with the Telegram team when again they were developing TON and we developed TON OS. I think we did a meaningful contribution in debugging of the protocol, and then again when we developed second implementation of the node, it helps debugging, helps stability of the network. So they've seen us historically as a technical partner. I think given one of the aspects when they had this court with Security and Exchange Commission was around, how ready is the platform? Is it really functional? And I think the fact that TON Labs, together with 22 other initial members, launched FreeTON, which is essentially TON technology, proves that the technology that Telegram team developed is very robust and very powerful. In fact, they developed what we now call multi-threading concept of sharding, actually multi-threading in the network. So I hope at least genuinely that if they're asked what do you think about FreeTON, they would be very complimentary because we took over the beta and picked up their technology and launched it into the world and are driving adoption now. But I would love to hear Pavel or somebody else from the Telegram team to comment publicly about what they think about FreeTON. I think it would be quite complimentary.
Okay, and one more question for those subscribers who are developers or coders and right now watch this TV. So you have the team of more than 50 team members, and certainly you may need some coders, specialists, so you can just specify your needs, especially if you grow, and the growth always means that more labor is needed.
Sure. Well, the ecosystem currently, when Telegram was about to launch TON, there were about 1,000 developers in the ecosystem who wanted to do something. We're proud, we as a FreeTON community, that now we're seeing more than 3,000 developers active in the chats, developing some stuff. And the way it's important to say that the way we drive the ecosystem is through contests. And we have a whole bunch of contests for developers. For example, we had recently a contest for decentralized exchanges. We now have 4 decentralized exchanges on the ecosystem. Last night we finalized the contest for NFT marketplace. There are going to be 7 NFT marketplaces on FreeTON. We have a contest on zero knowledge proof, on bridges. We have 4 bridges, to Ethereum, to Polkadot, to Tezos, and Chinese BSN project coming up. We're going to launch contests for oracles of FreeTON. There'll be contests for P2P lending protocols, etc., etc. So we do everything through contests, and contests are rewarded quite significantly with tokens. So I think it's first of all, it's very easy to come to the FreeTON ecosystem and become a developer. You just join the contest. You don't need to get any grant. You don't need to go to get any permission. You just come, you file your development, you file it on chain, and then And the last point is, if you have an idea how what else can be done for the Freeton ecosystem, you can suggest your own contest, write it, and then it will be open to the whole world, obviously. So it's an extremely open ecosystem. So anybody who has free capacity and wants to develop on Freeton or work on operability with some other protocols is very welcome. On freeton.org, you'll have multiple links to the contest platform. It's on chain again, and also to some of the other resources for developers.
Okay. And
maybe last thing, sorry.
Yes.
And with TonOS, we have a whole bunch of developer tools. We have 2 compilers with modified Solidity with C and C++. We have very comprehensive SDK and a lot of bindings that facilitate development, like GraphQL for parsing the blockchain, databases, etc., etc.
And as you grow, maybe you need some specialists to strengthen your team. Do you have any vacancies for coders or for any other specialists
you mean Ton Labs for our
yes,
company? Yes, Ton Labs is hiring aggressively as well. We have a pretty high standard, but we're very open. TonLabs.io is the website where you can get hold of the vacancies. We're constantly looking for developers, constantly.
Okay, so if you want to join this wonderful team, go to their website and you'll find all the information about them. So, a few words about your future plans, where those who want to invest, who are interested in this project, can meet you, your specialists, find more information about future conferences where you want to take part in.
Well, we're going to be platinum sponsors again at the Malta conference of Sigma. We're considering, I think, 5 or 6 more conferences, also significant partnerships, platinum-like partnerships, simply because we achieved what we call full decentralization end of December last year. And since then, we want to be very public and very loud, simply because our governance model is very open model. So in order to grow more aggressively, we need to be very open. We need to reach out to the world. So I think we're going to be present at pretty much every significant conference going forward.
Cool. In the middle, we'll want to add your jurisdiction. Are you where are you located? Your headquarters? Where you? Where is the register of your company?
It's a great question. So Freeton does not have any jurisdiction. There is no legal entities, there is no foundation, there is absolutely nothing. It's just a software on chain. And then you have thousands and tens of thousands of people contributing to the network, and nobody controls it. Again, we had 23 initial members, and we have now 32 what we call sub-governances, which is like a DAO, which works in a specific geography. Like we have, Vietnam, South Korea, Mexico, France, Africa, etc., or a specific functional area, like DeFi, NFT, sports. We have many of those. And again, they are not controlled by anybody. They get tokens, and from the network, and they do their own contests. Ton Labs, we have a few legal entities. We have legal entities in Switzerland and Estonia. It depends really on what the need is. But again, we're just a small part of the ecosystem. Freeton does not belong to anybody.
Yeah, decentralized company. How many tokens are issued and how many are sold right now?
It's 5 billion network tokens which are released originally. They're locked in 3 givers, 5 in validator, 10 in developer, and 85 in the partnership giver. And none of them are sold, so 0 is sold. About 12% of the network tokens are now rewarded for contribution to developers, validators, and partners. For example, Sigma, organizer of this conference, is a partner. But then, of course, they're not sold on the primary market. But there are like 7 or 8 exchanges that are supporting Ton Crystal token now. There are a few, P2P and OTC desks, P2P platforms, OTC desks, and we have now unfolding DeFi infrastructure with DeFi Alliance, which is going to do like bridges and again DEXs. So if you go to freeton.org, you can access the different exchanges and platforms that are trading the token on the secondary market. But you cannot buy it on the primary market.
Okay.
Have to contribute first and then get the token.
Hopefully soon, at the nearest future, we can buy it from Binance, from other exchanges, decentralized, centralized. And we'll see you on CoinMarketCap. Are you on CoinMarketCap right now?
We're on CoinGecko.
Yes.
CoinGecko, yes. And we're in top 200 tokens with Ton Crystal. CoinMarketCap should be any day now.
Yeah, should be very soon. Okay, so let me. Thanks for the interview. This interview, and I want to invite you for our future meetings on our channel, where we discuss NFT, Binance ideas, smart chains, and so on. So you are the welcome guest of our talks.
We'll be looking forward to that, and we have quite a few members in the community as well. We have DeFi-focused folks, NFT-focused folks here at the conference, so
yes,
we can dig quite deep into the space.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Alexei, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.